wanted to put a video out there about the Saginaw VA, and specifically uh, this Trevor guy. Some of the VA police, because I saw him in there. Of course, his hair's all messed up. He tries to look different, but I don't know exactly. He did have an ID card around his neck, but it could have been Morley for all I know. I didn't see the ID card. It was turned around, of course. But he was there very briefly when I checked in about, oh, what was it? Oh, it was about the 60% that I received no back pay and no pay. And one of the police officers there, he always follows me around and tries to pretend like he's my friend or something. But he always pops up when I'm there and always questions me if I have an appointment for everywhere I go. And I said to him, like, because I was showing this person that came up, this Trevor guy. I don't know if he works at the VA or if he's visiting a friend. But anyway, this police officer, because there's more later, something I saw when my daughter and I passed by. But he appeared there and he said, "Oh, I'm an officer." I said, "Oh, okay." I said, "Well, I'd just like to hand this in because I don't see anything, other than this piece of paper that says that I'm 60%. There's nothing there. It says my service ratings, my individual service ratings. One of them is 60%." I said, "But this rating decision says that I'm combined 60% as well." And he said, "Well," he said, because I said, "Is there an officer here?" He said, "Oh, I'm an officer." I'm like, "Oh, it's Aloha Friday," and he joked. And that's when the other police officer came. And he's like, "Yeah, can I help you?" And I'm like, "What do you want?" I'm like, I don't even like you. What do you need? Why are you involved in this? And he's like, "Oh, you like me? We talk all the time." I'm like, "I just came here to hand this in, possible fraud." "Oh, we don't have anything to do with that." He said, "Oh, you just have to take that over to the main building, maybe eligibility or something." Now, he said, "We don't make reports on stuff like that." And I'm like, "Okay," so I'm sending another wild goose chase. I don't really like this guy. He, like I said, he never helped us. He shows up. Um, I talked to him one time, and one time couldn't have started to talk about more in-depth stuff about working there and stuff like that. And I noticed his affect didn't change when I tried to warm up to him. Yeah, I don't like him. I don't like him at all. And he had the same kind of arrogant, kind of astute approach. Yeah, I don't like him. And what he does is he protects VA employees who are abusive. He protects them. I don't like somebody like that. He wears a badge. And that's what I told him when I was at the door with that other guy with Trevor. Um, I'm like, you know what? You wear a badge. That's a badge of honor and responsibility. You're supposed to report crime. You're supposed to, report everything that's abnormal or destructive or illegal that happens on this premises. I'm like, and if you can't handle it, then you shouldn't wear the badge. And he didn't say anything. I mean, it was something, around that, about like that. And that was the point. He said, "Well, we don't handle this stuff." Again, like I told you, just take it over to eligibility. And so then we drove by later on, probably shoot, what, an hour, maybe 2 hours after that. And this man, Trevor, and this police officer, they were way, way, way in the back of the veteran parking lot. The one that they give us that's half paved and half dirt. Um, that they share with that factory there. They were way, way over on the other side of the dirt part, almost by that company over by the gate, talking privately. And, they kind of saw us as we drove by and, continued a very private conversation. And, I don't know, there's something didn't set right with me. And then all of a sudden, 2 days after that, this happens. When, again, I go to see this same guy, Trevor, at the North Pine Road Urgent Care Clinic. It's called MRG Exams. They do VA stuff, VA comp exams. And the way that he wrote the the way that he wrote the the narrative and the DBQ caused me to get my GERD denied. And everything that I told him, this stuff started in service, with mild indigestion all the time, and specifically in the Middle East. And I've never had stomach problems until then. Never, you know. I've never had anything. I mean, maybe a couple of episodes of indigestion when I was a kid after something happened to my family. But it passed, and never had any issues other than that when I was a kid. Went my whole life with no problems at all, and then going to the Middle East, start having some stomach problems, albeit not like it is now, but things get worse over time, and I spent 5 years there, and all the stuff that I was exposed to, the diesel tanks that were leaking in Pearl Harbor, a year in the desert, and then plus, spending, quite a bit amount of time in Guam, albeit it wasn't during when the herbicide was sprayed, there's still effects of it on the base. Guam is mostly rock, dirt, and sand. So that stuff is it's just like the Middle East. And so, I explained all this stuff to him, and the denial is directly related to him trying, to sound like a smarty pants, basically, and saying there's no study of people. He doesn't even know exactly where I was in Kuwait. He doesn't have access to that. So it's a hit job. Without a doubt, this is a hit job. He has no idea where I was other than Southwest Asia. And to say that there's no reported cases of GERD and stomach problems and throat problems from people who've been to Kuwait is another lie. I don't know what evidence he's looking at, but it's certainly nothing that reflects veterans who've been deployed to Southwest Asia. So again, stay away from the Saginaw VA. I don't know what this is, whether this is a Hebrew Israelite stronghold or whether it's QAnoners, I don't really know and I don't really care. I just know that they're screwing people over, they're making people sick, they're humiliating people more than other VAs do. I'm talking an abnormal level of this kind of stuff, and they're screwing people over their health care, making them sicker, and then refusing to pay them. I wish they would shut this place down. Send the good people that have good, that can back up their employment, send them somewhere else. And people that can't be justified or that have a bunch of complaints, fire them. Protect veterans. But then again, that's why I'm not in Washington.